From the ECSI Sports Studios and the #1 sports investors in America, we bring you the closing bell. As the market closes, legends Jeff Dawson and Riley Magnuson bring you all the sports investing tips for tonight's matchups. If you want to learn more from the two legends at the desk, make sure you stay tuned to the closing bell. ECSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all of your sports books and track all of your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You can also sign up for sportsbooks and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as they're the best account on the platform. Head to the App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire to download the app.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, sports fans from all around the globe. This is East Coast Sports Investors Closing Bell for Monday, May 6th. Happy to be here with you talking all things Monday evening sports slate here. We've obviously got some good stuff to go through tonight. Got a decent baseball slate. Won't bore you with the entire thing, but we've got some good looks here that I'm interested in talking about, as well as, of course, games one of the oh my gosh, I'm already drawing a blank on it. Pacers and Knicks. I was looking at tomorrow's series. Pacers and Knicks, game one of the semifinals. Game two of Timberwolves and Nuggets as well. Awesome showing from Anthony Edwards and the Wolves in game number one against the defending champs. Curious to see what happens tonight in game number two. I was getting ahead of myself with tomorrow as far as the other two series is concerned: Cavs and Celtics, Mavericks and Thunder. Maybe talk through a couple of series props that I'm looking at just for some extra little fun money there. And I won't give too much insight on it, but you've got Bruins and Panthers tonight as well. Game one of that series. Had a good couple of days in the NHL as far as entertainment-wise. Over the weekend, game one yesterday, game seven yesterday. But Jeff Dawson and Andrew McInnes with a fantastic show earlier today in the Midday Market Report, about an hour and a half or so. So if you're looking for some deeper hockey insights and takes, go see that one. I am a peon compared to those two as far as hockey, especially Andrew McInnes with his specialty in hockey there. So please go and listen to them. I won't give too much more thoughts on that series because I'm not the hockey guy, as I've told you. I'll throw out a soft lob every now and then if I feel something. But Bruins coming off of that Game 7 win over the weekend against the Leafs. Turning right into down to Florida for game one tonight. So that one should be an interesting series. I know a lot of people on the East Coast, obviously, with some rooting interest in the Boston Bruins. So rooting for you if that's where you are. But curious to see how that one goes. The Florida Panthers, the favorite in that one, as well as tonight. So as far as MLB, we're going to get into this one, and it's going to be short and sweet. Right now, Phillies up 5-0 on the San Francisco Giants in the bottom of the fifth. I believe Bryce Harper just hit a bomb, per Twitter, at least, per X, from what I was watching there. So definitely, if you got any Phillies action, you're feeling good so far on that one. Before we get into the NBA, a couple of MLB looks that I wanted to drop down on you. First one in the AL Central, Detroit and Cleveland. You've got 18-16 Detroit with Jack Flaherty on the mound, up against 22-12 Cleveland. In Cleveland, with Tristan McKenzie on the mound, we talk about both these guys quite a bit. But you've only got Cleveland as -120 favorites here at home. Not only with that record discrepancy, and this Detroit team coming off of a rough series in New York, 3-game sweep at the hands of the Yanks. 1-2 loss, 3-5, 2-5 loss. Now going into Cleveland against McKenzie, and Cleveland, who is sticking around at home after a 2 out of 3 series win over the Angels over the weekend. And yet we've only got a -120 look here. So as far as this pitching matchup is concerned, You've got two guys that are pretty hit and miss at times. I would say McKenzie a little when he's on is I'd take him over Flaherty. And the last three he has been on. So I don't know if this line is kind of at a point where whether it happens tonight or not, you're starting to expect some regression from McKenzie. Like I said, last three, 3 hits, 1 earned run against Oakland, 4 innings. So not that deep, but 6 hits, 2 earned runs against Boston, and then on the road in Houston last time out, 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. So he's pitching well right now. A couple of ugly ones earlier on in the year, and now he's facing a team that he's obviously seen a handful of times. Not this year yet, but obviously with his division rival here. Flaherty, on the other hand, good last time out, a little more hit or miss. 6 2/3, 2 hits, no runs. 14 Ks last time out. So I don't know if we're just getting into a Jack Flaherty hot streak or what. So kind of what I'm alluding at is I'm interested in the Detroit Tigers tonight with this little bit of a stinky line here, in my opinion, in Cleveland against the better team in Cleveland. Not only that, you've got the Tigers after a nice little start to the season, still above 500. Absolutely credit to them. Starting to slip a little bit here. And so I am leaning towards the Tigers. I personally don't have enough faith in Jack Flaherty to cannonball into the plus 102 here. On the money line necessarily, that is where I would lean. You've got a 7.5 total. I think I saw it in a lot of spaces just tick up to 7.5. So I'm expecting at least one of these guys to be very, very good. My lean is for it to be Flaherty. Again, you could have a big regression night from McKenzie, which is kind of what I'm predicting, and you could still get a regression night from Flaherty. So a little more comfortable going to the Tigers over 3.5. After not getting over that number over the weekend against a guy who's looked really good these last few days, Tigers coming in a little cold. That number tells me that they're going to break out of that a little bit here today and get to McKenzie here, potentially in the first 5. I saw I think the Tigers are actually the favorite in the first 5 here. So a lot of goofiness going on here. But I'm going to go into the Tigers team total over 3.5. I think of all the things I feel most confident in, it's McKenzie potentially regressing a little bit here tonight if we're getting some good Tigers action. So going to the over 3.5 there for the Tigers. Another game that I was looking at, a little tough to get into because you've got a guy in Justin Steele for the Cubs here tonight who hasn't pitched in over a month. He only had his, I don't know if it was their opening day or if it was his opening start. One start, not bad, but it's been a month and a half or so, a month and some change since he has started. You've got Yu Darvish on the other side for San Diego, 18-19. And Yu Darvish, again, kind of what we've seen the last couple of years from Yu Darvish, some really good starts, some not so great starts, a lot in the middle there. So kind of all over the place for Yu Darvish, coming into Chicago where he pitched for a few years, obviously. So I am kind of feeling like this number, you got a total of 7.5 too. And if you're not as familiar with Justin Steele, one of the newer pitchers his last few years in the Cubs lineup, a guy that they've got a lot of faith in. And so I think it does, especially with the total, you could get a good Justin Steele start, but probably not going to go much past even maybe 4 or 5 innings here, let alone 6 or 7 there. I am feeling good about a good Yu Darvish start. Again, I'm hesitant here because you've got Justin Steele, and he could be great, he could be bad, he could go 3 innings, he could go 5 innings. So a little hesitant on what we're going to see from this Padres offense against this Cubs lineup. Do kind of feel decent about a decent Yu Darvish start, but it's a little more of a lean. Padres coming into this one have been playing some good ball. A couple series wins in a row against Cincinnati and at Arizona. Offense was good at Arizona. Cubs 2 out of 3, a big 2 out of 3 at home against the Brewers. So a big series could be coming down from that one a little bit. So I am going to lean towards the Padres with a team, kind of similar situation here. A team that is the superior team as a short favorite at home here against a team, in the Padres' case, 18-19. So I'm going to lean towards Yu Darvish. I wouldn't be surprised if we get the Cubs staying under that 3.5 with a good Yu Darvish start. So one way or another, I'm kind of back in the Padres. A little bit more of a lean on this one, but a little pump the brakes at the very least on the Cubs, and I'm definitely not diving into the Cubs tonight. I know you've got Luis Castillo on the mound in Minnesota against the Twins. Mariners starting to play a little bit better here. Castillo last time out, I believe, was pretty good. They are the favorite, so kind of like them as well there. I believe there was one other one. Not that I'm interested in getting in, but not Yu Darvish. Walker Buehler making his 2024 season debut. Did not pitch at all last year. Has not pitched since middle of June 2022. So first time out for him. They are up against the Miami Marlins, minus 340 favorite for the Dodgers at home here. So this is not me suggesting anything at all. I am actually a big Walker Buehler guy. But it's been a year and a half. You never know what to expect. Probably not going to go too deep himself into this one. So Dodgers should handle business here. They've got Munoz for Miami. I think only a couple starts under his belt has been pretty good. Could be in for some regression for sure here. 8.5 on the total, though. So there's a lot of different ways that this one could go in. I'm not endorsing you diving into the Marlins by any means. You need a touchdown, no extra point for the Dodgers over 5.5. So I do think you could get that. But against a young guy, with the way this number is minus 133, 330, would respect a 6.5, honestly, for this Dodgers team against Miami here today. So I'm not saying anything, but I'm not diving into the Dodgers, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. Buyer beware. Not buyer beware, but just pick and choose your spot with the Dodgers tonight carefully. They could absolutely win 8-2, but it could go a lot of different ways there. So didn't have too much else here in baseball. Not too interested in the White Sox tonight. You've got Mike Clevenger, for what it's worth, making his White Sox debut, season debut, I should say. He pitched for them last year. White Sox debut of 2024. So not sure how far he's going to go. He's been making some AAA starts, so he might not be limited too much at all there. But Tampa Bay minus 170 at home against the 8-26 White Sox. So for what it's worth, might have a decent Clevenger start on your back pocket there. Wouldn't dive too deep into the Tampa Bay Rays. White Sox just took 2 out of 3 from the Cardinals. 2 of the last 3 series, they're starting to play better. I'm not sitting here saying anything. Just not as much of a pushover or laughing stock these last week and a half or so as they had been for the first 25, 30 games, whatever it was. So just telling you to at least ease into cannonballing when you're facing the White Sox here and betting against the White Sox. Certainly going to be times where you can bet against them. Maybe just pumping the brakes on them tonight, and you might even get a good Mike Clevenger start here for the White Sox. So that is where I was going with the MLB tonight, my friends. Kicking over to the NBA, 2 games here tonight, as well as maybe a little overall series talk on a few of these series here. You've got Indiana and New York. In New York, obviously, Knicks 5.5-point favorites, 217.5 on the game total. You've got obviously the Pacers taking care of business against the Bucks. No Giannis, no Lillard. Still played very, very solid offensively against a Milwaukee team that's obviously struggled defensively all season long. And this Knicks team that is going essentially back and forth with the Sixers after the early lead that they jumped out to there. So as far as this one is concerned, you're going to have obviously a packed Madison Square Garden crowd going wild for this Knicks team. I think this is a solid number. I saw a lot of people. I think it's enticing people into the Pacers. I'm not saying the Pacers can't win this or can't cover this. Would have respected 4.5, 3.5 if I was really, really all the way interested in this Pacers team tonight. So I think this number is pretty fair here. And I think you're going to get a passionate Knicks outing tonight. So I'm kind of leaning towards the Knicks. At the very least, I might be more interested in Knicks over 111.5. And get a good offensive performance from them. Not sure what you're going to get from this Pacers team. 105.5 to the under as well is interesting there. Would have respected a little bit higher number there for the Pacers. So I think I'm going Knicks tonight, at least on this spread and potentially a couple different ways. Not cannonballing into it, but certainly kind of respecting what we're seeing from the Knicks here tonight. So kind of treading lightly on it, but we'll see how the series go. I think this one, I'm going to go Knicks in 6 is kind of what I'm at with this one. I feel like that's kind of the consensus for a lot of people here. Seems like it could be the end of the road for the Pacers, but if they sneak up on you and you don't take them seriously, they're gonna sneak up on you and they're gonna get you. So other series tonight: Minnesota and Denver. Denver minus 6.5 now. I believe it was 5.5 for a decent chunk of this day here. Obviously, you've got this Wolves team 1-0. I believe they're 1 game apart in the regular season. So obviously, you've got a Nuggets team is the defending champs, the team that we think is the better team. They're only 1 game apart here. So this Wolves team, I said it the previous series, a team that is dying to get some respect here. Anthony Edwards, not only himself but also this Wolves team, dying for some respect here. You got a 207.5 on the game total. It finished a couple points under that. 209.5 was the closing total the other night. Goes to 205 on the closing total there. Nuggets 4.5. I'm kind of leaning towards Nuggets win, but don't cover. But don't quote me on that one there. Interested in maybe some points being scored in this one. You should obviously get a big performance in a a motivated performance from this Nuggets team to not go down 2-0. Going back to Minnesota, get really home court advantage obviously ripped away from them. Already has been stolen from them. But this Wolves team is not going anywhere, man. And I'm not saying we're going to get another fantastic Anthony Edwards performance, but I do think you're going to see a Nuggets team win this game, grind this one out, and find a way to win. Do I think they're going to cover the 6.5? I'm a little wishy-washy on that one, if I'm being honest with you. So I'll go on record saying the Nuggets win by 4 or 5 points, and it comes real close to the spread. Maybe some free throws at the end, lack of free throws at the end, as far as do or die on the spread. So I think the number is pretty good here tonight. It's pretty spot on. Tough for me to get into. Total 207.5. I don't have too many thoughts on that one. I'll go lean towards it going over and some more points scored, but not a great feel for that one as well, honestly. So that about does it for today's slate. The only other thing that I wanted to mention, as far as some series props, again, I think the Mavericks have a great chance of winning that series against OKC. Obviously, have some star power there, Luka and Kyrie. You've had some star power in SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Excuse me. The one thing that I'm interested in, though, series leader for that, total points series leader for that one, Luka is minus 280, rightfully so, leading for the entire season. But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander plus 280 as the other option, the number 2 option there to lead the series in points here. Not a bad option. Again, not trying to talk down on Luka, but obviously I'm not trying to get into minus 280 here. I'm just talking about a guy in SGA who was the number 3 leading scorer in the NBA behind Luka and I think Giannis. And 30-point per game scorer here. Played a lot of minutes, played around 39, maybe, I don't think it was quite 40, but close to 40 minutes per game in that first series against the Pelicans, but was able to take his foot off the gas a little bit and involve his teammates a little bit. I imagine his minutes total is going to increase a little bit if we're expecting a good, long, hard-fought series, a lot of close games. Again, not saying Luka can't be, even potentially scoring 35-plus a game. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the plus 280 to me sounded kind of interesting when you talk about a guy who was able to put it on cruise control a little bit for those 4 games. I think it was 4-game sweep against the Pelicans, if not 5. I'm already drawing a blank. But the point is, he's obviously capable of putting up some 40-point performances here. So if you're a big SGA guy, go ahead and take a look at that. It's going to be most likely one of those 2 guys, obviously. But you got a Luka who's slightly banged up with a little bit of a knee issue. You never know what happens there. Obviously hoping and praying that he stays in for the sake of an awesome series there. But SGA could absolutely pour in some big performances here. I think he's going to have at least one big performance. He didn't really have a signature performance, if you will, comparatively to what he does. He was really solid, but no, nothing like what Jalen Brunson's been doing. This, that, and third. My point is, SGA plus 280 to score some big numbers is not a bad look here. 24, 33, and 28. So very consistent in the first 4 games, or in the 4 games against the Pelicans. But I think we're going to get a couple statement games from him where he's putting up potentially over 40, like we've seen from some of these other guys in some of these other series here. So be on the lookout for SGA. If you can get that prop, maybe take a look at it if you're a big SGA guy. So I will be playing it for some fun money as well. So if anyone wants to join me, get in on the action with me there. So that is about it. All I have for you tonight. Jeff and I will be back tomorrow talking the other 2 games, that series that we're talking about, Mavericks and Thunder, as well as Celtics and Cavs tomorrow night, as well as I'm not sure what NHL action is tomorrow night, but we'll get there tomorrow night when we get there, and then obviously MLB for Tuesday and the rest of the week as well. So check us out tomorrow afternoon about the same time as now. And we'll drop down what we can. If you have not checked out WagerWire yet, please go and do so. Download their app in the App Store. Is an app that is fantastic, going to make you a more resourceful, give you a lot more options in your sports betting lives and sports wagering lives, and very flexible, and gives you a lot of tools to not only work the app and figure out how to do what I'm talking about, but obviously a lot of tools to make you smarter, better. So, as well as downloading their app on the App Store, go and follow them on X, on the X app. Not only them, WagerWire themselves, but any of the great people at WagerWire. They're going to help you out and make you a smarter, better through your timeline as well, if you're also interested in that. So go ahead and check them out. They've been fantastic to us, and we have very much enjoyed working with them. So I am going to go ahead and get out of here. Go and have some fun with tonight's games, my friends. I hope you have some fantastic luck and some fantastic winners. But until tomorrow, I will see you all later. Best of luck to you.